Not that volume point of controls are not important. It's just that I can only cover so many of the key concepts, and I've just selected a few of them that we can apply together. All right. Now that we have answered our questions, let's begin our analysis. I've armed you with some key fundamental concepts about the profile. You at least now know how to distinguish between an imbalanced and a balanced market. And you know that a balanced market basically tells me that there's uncertainty in the market. And the key thing that we have to do when we begin analyzing using the profile chart, is we have to look at it in context of what is happening in the market. So I've picked 7 trading days before you on this chart, starting recently back in November 21st, all the way through November 29th. And I want you to sort of take a look at this chart and look at the different days. We've had some directional, some imbalanced, some balanced, but pretty much what you are going to see is that, no, this is for November. Somebody's asking October. This is November. These are days in November for the ES Mini. And you are going to pretty much see that the picture we see in this chart for the number of days, which are really 7 days, is really a market that is not moving in a very strong direction one way or the other. So overall, we are moving within a range. And if you actually go back a week or two conceptually, you will remember that that was the period right before the election and right before the FOMC meeting. So it really does make a lot of sense that the market wasn't quite sure which way it was going. Does that mean we can't trade the market? No, of course not. But we have to be very careful and very astute when we do that. And let me show you how we begin to trade the day that is going to come after 10/29. That was the end of the week, so the next day is the market will open on Sunday afternoon. All right, before we begin to look at how we're going to trade, I just wanted you to take a look at the same picture from a traditional perspective, looking at it using candlesticks. I never trade using strictly the profile. I always integrate both my traditional analytical tools with the profile, and that really gives me tremendous leverage. Not only am I able to see everything that every technical analyst out there is able to see, but I'm also able to add onto that the power of the profile and the key analytical pieces that the profile gives me. So always keep that in mind. You always want to look at both pictures. So we continue here, and I focus even a little bit more on what we're looking at. And even if you look at this picture from a candlestick, if you know a little bit about candlesticks, what we see here in these 7 days is quite a bit of uncertainty. We're seeing a lot of dojis and very small-bodied candles. So there's a pending change that's coming in a market of uncertainty. So here's where we were, and now I'm going to begin to think, what do I do on Sunday when the market opens? I would like to be able to place a trade, and we'll take a look at how we're going to approach that. Okay, back to our picture again of the entire period that we're looking at. And one thing that I want to highlight for you that's always very important are my points, price points of control. We talked about those earlier, the price points of control. These are the points at which we had the highest number of TPOs for each of the days. And as the first step in this analytical, simple analytical process I'm going to teach you, I want you first of all to identify them, and they're very easy to identify because market profile gives us this nice red line. But not only identify them in terms of location, I want you to be able to identify now that we have this information, we've identified all of our points of control for the past 7 days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very simple calculation. I am going to average my points of control for the past 5 days, meaning for the entire week, and I also am going to do it for the past 7 days. Now, I want to begin by telling you there's really nothing magical about 5 or 7. The key concept that I want to convey to you is that you want to look at things over a period of time. So I could be doing this for an entire month. I could be doing it for just 2 weeks. I chose simply because this was the period of uncertainty and there was an impending change coming in the market to focus on this. Quite often I find that people sort of get stuck and are not flexible with their analysis, and so they're always just doing 5 days and 7 days. I want you to get away from that, and that's part of when people do analysis and they really don't understand the whole picture. So having said that, I've now come up with an average POC for the week, which was 1179.75, and for the entire 7 days, I have 1179.14. So what does that really tell me? Well, it tells me that we're still pretty much, in terms of the point of control, pretty close for the week and for the 7 days, with a slight favor, if you will, to the upside. We moved a little bit, not much, but a little bit. All right. Now we get to the interesting point. And the interesting point is the open. So I'm looking now at the beginning of the week, and for the futures, of course, as you are all aware, this starts on Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, and the market opens. And the market now opens at about 1180.5, all right? And I take a look at what happens at the open. Now first, I'm one of those people that really likes to trade the open. I find that there are always good opportunities at the open if you've done a careful analysis and you have a good understanding of the market. It allows you some tremendous opportunities. So I will share with you one of the tactics or strategies that we use. And take a look with me here. And the first question I'm going to ask you about this particular open, and I'm assuming that everybody can recognize that the market opened right here at about 1180.50. The market dropped down, and we had one TPO at 1180.25, and then it jumped back up 2 TPOs. At this point, without any more information,